Yes. But if they don't correct exactly to this. Yeah. So you have to resist them and inform them what they are going to experience, because otherwise they will really give you a hard time. Yeah.
So the hard time, Dr. Yahya, it's appear when we are not discussing with the patient what he will gain, because patient low myop, he's coming, and I need just to correct the distance because I have low myop. So that's the concept that they have. So this low myop will continue because they are reading. I have a reading, or in reverse, coming and saying that I was reading very well, but he did, and then I lost it. So means that this is a miscommunication between the doctor and the patient. Now, Safa, she said she present a very nice presentation, and I will continue concentrating on the physics of these lenses that we are using, and we need to understand why we are using it, and how you will use it, and how it will match, or how it will keep us selecting the patient accordingly. So there is no perfect lens. There is no perfect lens that address all the requirements of the patient. That I need a perfect distance, perfect near intermediate, and I need to drive safely night without any halos and without any issue. So here in this situation, what we are doing is just like matching what we have as a product to the patient required, telling them that this will match 90% at least from, but you might have this and you might have that. So from this point of view, I divide the multifocality to three: the diffractive, no, it's fine, the diffractive and hybrid EDOF and EDOF. So I will go through in summary, in a very short, in a way that we'll go to the cases, because cases is more, but we need to know the physics behind. So a diffractive, as we know, that the diffract is apodizing, and it's present with a long history, and it shows the central, that it should be for the near, and apodizing to the periphery, to the peripheral vision. That spikes. Now they manipulate it, but still the best one is the one that shows 3.5 at the lens base. And when we are reading the power ad, this ad, the company put it as an ad to the lens base, means that the lens level, but it's not for the spectacle level. So we need to differentiate. 3.5 means that we will gain 3 at the spectacle level. Always we are deducting 0.5 from the power that the company will give us, because that's the power on the spectacle. The best still diffractive, but the main problem is the halos at night. Whatever the companies they modify, any modification here, spiral or apodizing or changing in the angulation, it will take part from the near. But still, it didn't solve the halos. So halos, one of the important. So driving night is an important question before talking to the patient. No, please. I'm not doing diffractive. I'm not doing the trifocal, because it creates halos, and that patient is not driving night. So halos from what? And the patient is 65, architectural engineer. She's only in her life gaining from doing the maps and selling it. So here we stop it. She was doing, because she had -2 and she was reading well. And then now we let her use a distance and near glasses. That definitely, it's not a good condition. Now, if we are not doing so, push it to, or give it to the other doctor. Now, and that's what we have as a trifocal and trifocal toric. It gives the best reading till now, the best reading with them, but halos. Now, what we have in the market now, what sinusoidal, as I said, but the problem with the sinusoidal is that it compensates with the near. Still, we have halos, but the halos is better than diffractive classic, the spikes. And the other problem is that we don't have a fixed A constant. So it shifts to the myopia. So it gives us around 1 diopter myopia. Why? Because the A constant is not still fixed, the other one. Spiral, Galaxy. It's a good names. It's a spiral names. But whether it's approved that it will change the concept of the halos night, it's still not. That one. Second is that whether we will have a myopic shift with all our tools that to have immetrope, it's not fixed. Then hybrid EDOF. Now, what about hybrid EDOF? It's an EDOF, and that EDOF, it's a negative spherical abrasion on the center. Sorry that I will make it very quick because I need to reach the cases. So a negative spherical abrasion in the center, which not exceed 1.5 at the lens base, which means that around 1 at the cornea or spectacle, that the EDOF. They add to it another technology. And so we will. Let us see. Now, the hybrid EDOF, it's a modification. So it's an EDOF with a diffractive, like Synerge, EDOF. That's Synerge. And what they did is that they reduced the rings from 22 to 9, and they add 1.5 to the center. That's the Symphony. But they found that the near is very low. It's around 1.5 lens base, 1 at the end, or sorry, 2 at the lens base, 1.5 at the cornea. So they change, they add refractive plate in the back. So they called it Synerge. So Symphony and Synerge. Now, Symphony is no one using it, or very low number, because the add is very low. Now, Synerge, they add a 0.5 plate of refractive. So it starts to be 2.5 at the lens base, around 2 at the cornea. But still, we didn't change. We didn't solve the problem. So that's what we have from 22. That's range that we were using for the classical trifocal to 9 ring in between. So the 9 ring is to reduce the halos. That's the aim. The aim is to reduce the halos. But unfortunately, we didn't reduce the halos, and we interfere with the near. Now, hybrid, multifocal, refractive, and diffractive, that's the Synerge, because it's diffractive and refractive and hybrid in the center. Lucidus refractive, it's a plate of refractive add, plus they remove from the center 1.5 from the refractive, and they add negative spherical abrasion. In my opinion, is one of the promising lens for those that they are driving night. Hopefully that one day someone will do it for me. I did it for all my families. It's one of the excellent. Now, why? Because it's giving 3 diopter at the lens base. 3 diopter with a combination of the refractive and the negative spherical abrasion. So it gives 2.5 at the cornea. With a micro monovision, we can aid. Micro monovision, I mean that it's minus 0.25 in both eyes. It gives the best vision for distance and near. So that's part of the Synerge and the EDOF. And now we have in the market only EDOF. And the EDOF is only 1.5 negative spherical abrasion on the center of the lens. And that's what we have, Vivity, and from Physiol, Isopure, and from Hoya, and other lenses. What available in our market is Hoya and Isopure and Vivity. Yeah, maybe, but it's not available in our market. So what it gives, 1 or less diopter to the lens, to the spectacle level. So it's prepared to the intermediate. How we can make the patient having a near, we need a micro monovision. Micro monovision means that we need to reach up to minus 0.75. Up minus 0.75, believe me that it will interfere with the night vision. So the patient will not have halos at the night, but he will have or she will have blurred vision at the night. They cannot drive. So we need to instruct them that you might need glasses at night. Doctor, I'm going very tired, so sometimes I'm missing these glasses. It's only 0.75. He don't know what's the 0.75 and 2. He cannot differentiate between them. He needs something that he can drive while he used the phone for more than 10 hours. He don't care that he has a dry eye and this dry eye will increase. All these, it's belong to us. We need to solve it. So we need to explain to him, especially those that they have EDOF, only EDOF. The night vision will start to be more and more with the dry eye. And that's the physics behind the positive and negative spherical aberration, because some lenses, they add a positive spherical aberration to the negative spherical aberration in the center. And that's what we have, as I said, Vivity and Isopure. Now, what's the add in precise? And no one of the company, they are giving you these numbers, but no, it's finished. Please just keep. So Techno Synerge +2 at the end, +3, plus 2.5. That's what they mentioned, but actually it's not. Now Panoptics 3.25 at the lens base, 2.75 at the spectacles. Symphony 1.75, 1.3 at the cornea. Physiol 3.5 is the highest, and +3 at the spectacle. Lucidus +3, 2.5 at the spectacles. Vivity 1.5, 1 at the cornea. Physiol Isopure 1.5, at the cornea. Just let me go to the second slide, please. We need, as Safa said, a technology to reach a good biometry. So Argos or IOL Master 700 is the best here to calculate the axial length and the total corneal power and the power. Now we need track system, digital tracking system to calculate the centration of the lens and intraoperative digital centration. And in case of the astigmatism, we need to have it digitally. We are talking about the premium lens. We are not talking about any lens. So we need the centration with the axis, and that centration should be digital. I thought that you are talking to me in a way that, because I'm short, so you are short. I was very confused that. Anyway, IOL Master MS39. It gives the best and the total corneal power that we need it when we are calculating the toricity of the lens, not the power, through the main pupillary power. Now, suggested IOL type according to the lifestyle. That's an important. So active, outdoor, sporty, monofocal, or EDOF hybrid, or trifocal usual. Now, office work, computer use, EDOF hybrid, that's my suggestion, or trifocal, unless he's driving night. Heavy reader with the craft hobbies, multifocal, trifocal, EDOF hybrid. Night drivers, and we have a lot of patients that they are heavily night drivers, so monofocal or EDOF hybrid. The balanced general lifestyle, trifocal or EDOF hybrid. Personally, I prefer EDOF hybrid. So let us go to the first case, which is important. That case is the lady male patient, has 67 years old, heavy reader, rarely drive at night. He is an engineer with refraction plus 0.5 plus 2.75. If you will go to unaided 0.5, aided 0.5 also. High order abrasions, it's 0.6 total spherical equivalent. The spherical abrasion 0.2 and comma, I'm not doing anything beyond 0.5. Strict on 0.5. Maybe Safa, she has another opinion that 0.3, but believe me, 0.3 and 0.5 the same. So 0.5, above 0.5, I need to treat this patient. So what was, and that's the MS, and then the treatment option, EDOF pure, both eyes, EDOF diffractive, refractive, hybrid, both eyes, EDOF refractive, trifocal, multifocal, both eyes, trifocal, diffractive. And the option was trifocal diffractive. He's not driving. He's not driving at night. So the best reading, I will give it to him. Now the result in this way, and he has the best post-op distance and near, and he's happy. That's what we need. Now, a male patient, 63 years old, regular reader, driving night usually, and he's a manager. Patient want presbyopic treatment, do not need to use glasses post-op. With this, if you will go to the high order abrasions, comma was 0.4, 0.3, and that's what I consider. Spherical abrasion, 0.2, 0.2. Those are important points when we are deciding the type of the lens, and those are the measure. So EDOF pure, he's a reader, and he's a driver. EDOF diffractive refractive hybrid, well, it can be one of the trifocal diffractive, one eye, and other EDOF refractive, both eye trifocal diffractive, and the result was EDOF vivity toric, because he has high astigmatism and he need to read, but with micro monovision. Now, if we will go to the third, male patient, 49 years old, post PRK, both eyes, heavy reader, driving night, regular, and he don't like to have halos. Job engineer. That's the patient that we have. Post-refractive, and he need to drive night, and he need to read. This is the kind of patient that we have. This is the problems that we have. And the refraction is minus 0.25 to 0. 0.3, 0.2 corrected to 0.61. High order abrasion is 0.9, 1.2. Spherical abrasion 1.1, 1.1. Comma 0.7, 0.9. What we will do for this patient? So I decide now to correct. I have the ability to correct. I have a squint, and I have through the squint, I have the selectively to treat, comma, and spherical abrasion. So we treat. That's the picture pre-op. And tangential elevation, 0.9, as I said, the total mean squared means this is the total high order abrasions, including the comma, spherical abrasion, and trefoil. And that's the other eye. 1.2 in the left eye, comma 0.9, and then pre-phaco. Now, this is after the trans-PRK. We can see the difference in the OD, and drop down to 0.4, 0.1, 0.2, 0.1, comma 0.2 spherical abrasion. That's the left eye, the worst eye, where the total high order abrasion was 1.2. Now it dropped to 0.6, comma 0.3, spherical abrasion 0.37, and that's the difference pre-trans PRK and pre-phaco. So you can see the difference here between up. Unfortunately, it's not clear, but we drop it below 0.5, all the comma and spherical abrasion. So he start to be ready for our options. The option here in my it was go through Lucidus refractive, and he's very happy. He's very happy. That's the result. So I kept minus 0.25 minus what. Here I need just to say that when I shift from IOL Master 700 to Argos, I start to have ability to reach minus 0.25 or 0. That's because of the axial length. The axial length, I don't have any financial disclosure. Here, when you change, because I put the two machine with me more than 7 months, and then I found the difference is in that the axial length, the ability to measure the proper axial length, the depth of that when passed to the retina. IOL Master into the surface of the retina. So that gives you the confidence to reach to, yes, I'm coming. This is the last. Okay, thank you very much.
I introduce you. Okay.
Oh, no, okay.